Let's move into that top five. And would you like to talk Cardinals at 1 or Raiders at 4 first?
Well, let's go. I mean, the Cardinals at 1. Let's start there, just because it's the big pick, right? I mean,
what's the biggest conversation from that pick? Because it's not a surprise that Murray was the guy. So what's standing out to you about that situation?
Well, what stands out to me is you hired a new head coach who is implementing his offensive system into a new organization in the NFL. And he obviously has a love affair with the player Kyler Murray. He's been recruiting him out of high school, all the comments he made about him last year. Hey, if you're going to hire this head coach and you want him to be the offensive genius that you hired him to be, you got to give him some groceries that he likes. Right. And Kyler Murray is not only fits his system and the way he wants to play, but the one thing I'll say again about Kyler Murray, for a new head coach, he's got a little bit of a get-out-of-jail-free card factor about him. Ooh, this play's not working. It's not open. Okay, I can rely on Kyler Murray and his 4.4 speed to go make a play or get us positive yards and keep us in a positive situation. So I think that's where I looked at it. And again, ultimately, I just think it's such a unique skill set of a quarterback that we really have not seen, that I think it's just hard to pass up. I mean, the Arizona Cardinals are going to sell more jerseys, and we're certainly all going to be tuned in to more Arizona preseason games right off the bat, because we're going to go, damn, I got to see this little 5'10" run around the field and make some of these throws. This is going to be fun to watch. And they haven't had that type of guy in a long time.
But now, to me, and this is just unprecedented, that a team takes a quarterback in the top 10 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
And that they didn't find a way to, for lack of a nicer way of saying it, get rid of Josh Rosen to clear the way for Kyler Murray being the guy, which he is going to be. And there are number 1 picks who, further in their career, when things didn't work out the way they wanted to, are able to play that backup role very well and be a nice mentor and really help the kid along. Josh Rosen's not going to do that. He's a year removed from being a number 1 pick himself. How did they not move him already?
Yeah, it's a very good question.
You can't have them both in the same room.
No, it's not good. It's not going to be good for the organization. And, yeah, Josh Rosen's going to be bitter about it, whether you like it or not. I'm sure he's going to handle it professionally. I don't doubt any of that. But, yeah, he's going to be in there and, murmuring and saying things underneath his breath, where he's going to be like, oh, this is up. I mean, I should be the starting quarterback here.
Of course. So
I get that.
Now what can they get for him?
Yeah, you made the point that you think this hurts his draft value or his trade value more. I do. I agree. You're right about that. And I think that's why Arizona's going to take a step back right now and go, you know what? Let's not, we don't need to get him out the door right now. They just need to get him out of the door before week 1, and they're going to try to, I guess, sit back.
Don't you think they should for minicamp too?
I ideally would think so. I'll say this much. Kyler Murray, I don't worry about him being affected by Josh Rosen. I worry about it more the other way around. I think Kyler Murray, who just sat behind Baker Mayfield and has been around other top talent guys before, I think he's going to be unaffected by Josh Rosen.
He'll be fine, but can you have a quarterback room where the top 2 guys have completely different agendas?
It's not going to be as a great a fit as you would like. Yeah, and you're going to have different plays and different things you have in the offense for a Kyler Murray that you're not going to have with a Josh Rosen. So there's that aspect of it as well. But I think, yes, are they going to settle if somebody tonight said, we'll give you a 3rd-round pick or something like that? Will they settle and just go, okay, let's just get rid of it and get it out the door?
That'd be best-case scenario.
It might be, yeah.
Were you ever in a position where you were in a quarterback room where it was that dynamic? We've never seen anything like the Rosen-Murray thing in terms of a 10 pick to a number 1 pick in back-to-back years. But were you ever in a spot where it was just it was a bad energy because the backup didn't think he should be the backup, and he didn't help the starter?
Yeah. I don't know if I was in anything to that extent. I'll say this. The year after I lost my spleen and I came back with Tampa, and, Tampa thought I was going to come back to be the normal guy I was, and at that point in 2007, offseason and going to that, I thought I would eventually be the normal guy I was before the injury, too. And we signed Jeff Garcia. And I know, hey, Jeff, he viewed himself as a starting quarterback. And I was like, no, I'm the starting quarterback. I was the guy that took us to the playoffs 2 years ago, and I was a starter and got hurt, and, you're here now. And it wasn't that we were both professional. I had great respect for Jeff Garcia. But it does get awkward when, okay, the offense needs a pep talk right now. We're practicing sluggish. who's the guy that
Who's gonna do
steps
it?
up? Because Gruden kind of was empowering Jeff Garcia to be the leader, as well as also me, to where I think there was a few times me and Garcia looked at each other like, we need to say something, but do you want to say it or do I say it or what the do we do here?
Right.
So that's where it can get a little awkward, definitely. But, you know, again, I think Arizona, this is new because of the salary cap rules that we have now, the rookie salary cap. Yeah, we never saw this in the history before, because if you drafted the number 10 pick at quarterback 10 years ago, you had to pay him $65 million.
Right.
So you definitely weren't thinking about quarterback the next year. Now, because of the rookie salary cap, you can think of things like that. And, yeah, it sounds like they're going to be patient, maybe wait for an injury, or maybe wait for a team that goes to OTAs and gets into training camp and goes, you know what? We need somebody else at the quarterback position, maybe at the very least a really quality backup for a team like the Los Angeles Chargers or whatever it may be, even though they have Tyrod Taylor. They're good there, so that's not a good example.
Yeah.
But I think that's what they're going to wait for. And, they can have maybe a few weeks to evaluate how that relationship goes. If they feel like it's toxic, then they might settle and go, okay, Rosen's out of here, 5th rounder, fine, you got him, it's all ours. That could very well happen.
Over under. If I said starts at a 3rd-round pick, would you take that they're going to get better than a 3rd-round pick, or they're going to get below a 3rd-round pick?
No, I would
eventually
say it's
trade
going to
him?
be a 3rd or worse at this point.
No chance for a 2.
I don't think it's going to be any chance for a 2 unless a team had an injury to where they became desperate and then that happened. But, this is the other aspect we got to think about with Josh Rosen. People liked his talent last year, but don't forget there was a lot of teams turned off by the person Josh Rosen. I had no problem with it. It's not about that. But NFL, and some of these old school coaches, just like we heard with Jerry Tillery. Does he love football? Why are we asking that? Because he's worldly and smart? Well, Josh Rosen's a little outspoken and outside-the-box thinker to where that turns off football teams. And there was a number of teams last year that were in the quarterback conversation that were turned off by him, the person, to where they worried about that. And I think that hurts his trade value, and there's probably only a limited number of teams that are really in on him anyways.
So if you're inside a war room right now and your team's going to get a quarterback sometime in round 2, do you want Drew Lock, or would you rather make a play for Josh Rosen?
I would rather have Drew Lock. And I can't lie, there was probably about a 4 weeks ago, I probably would have said the opposite.
What made you change?
I think as the more I watched Drew Lock and those guys, where I just got deeper down the wormhole of him and Haskins, where, I started watching every 3rd down pass of the year and every touchdown pass of the year and watched all these other different tapes. I just came away going, I like Josh Rosen, but I don't think his ceiling is as high as a Lock or a Haskins. And to me, Paul, this is the fascinating thing about round 2 Friday night. Is this is what's so weird about the draft. Nobody needs a quarterback right now.
Right?
The Miami Dolphins are the only team that you can look at and go, they need a starting quarterback. But they seem content on maybe waiting next year. So I look at round 2 and go, where the hell is Josh? Drew Lock going to go? And it's only the Bengals, I think. I got to pull up the full list but the Bengals and the Dolphins are the only team in the middle of the 2nd round where I look at, they go, that quarterback there makes sense? Or does New England use some of their 2nd and 3rd round assets and finally maybe trade up
Why would they
together?
do that? I've heard that a lot. I don't know how you feel about that one, but I mean, they have a chance to win Super Bowls for the next couple of years.
Yes.
Okay, so call it a small window, whatever.
Right.
Why would a team like that, with Tom Brady in his 40s, plan for the future in the draft? Get somebody who can help you maybe win another one this year or next year.
Yeah, well, I'm sure to a degree, I understand your logic there, and I don't think you're wrong. I get that. But I think they have to worry a little bit, like, if Brady wins his 7th this year, I think that increases the chances he might walk out the door and go, I'm the fucking man, I'm out of here.
Right.
It's official. I'm the GOAT. Peace.
Maybe you can get somebody in the 2nd and 3rd round who helps them win the 7th.
Yeah, you're right. But also, I'll just say that they probably feel pretty damn good about their team as is right now, too, to where, hey, again, I don't know the answers to these things. They have a lot of picks coming up here in the I think they got 2 in the 2nd. They got 3 in the 3rd.
Yeah.
So if they felt like highly enough that they had a 1st-round type grade on a Drew Lock and they said, okay, Brady's got no more than 2 years, they might say, okay, Drew Lock's our kind of guy. Let's go with it.
Yeah. Let's take the quarterback talk to the 3rd round.
Right.
Would you rather trade for a 3rd for Josh Rosen or take Stidham or Finley?
Ooh, that's a really good one, too. I would probably go Rosen there. It's close.
And you like both those guys
I like
I mentioned.
Stidham and Finley a lot. I really do. Again, I'm a big fan of Stidham. But that'd probably be my line of demarcation where I would go, I'd take Josh Rosen over those 2.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.